Here's a fucking bag of shit. Yeah. All right. Welcome to Two Sweet Lambruscos. Billy Long Loins, how you doing, man?
Quite well, Paulie Firm. How you doing?
Oh, I'm not feeling great.
Yeah, I heard you're on steroids.
I'm on steroids. They prescribed, of all the people in the world to give steroids to, they give them to me. Now, I should mention, it's not like an anabolic steroid. It's not like a Barry Bond steroid.
Oh, that's come on, you couldn't get those ones.
I know. I wanted my head to be the size of,
yeah.
you know, like the Atlas the guy's holding in that.
Dude, his hat size went up like 9 sizes from when he was a rookie.
It's funny too because when people would ask him if he was on steroids, and he's like, no, and other reporters are like,
yeah.
So yeah, I got put on a steroid because of my allergies.
Yeah, welcome to Southern California.
Yeah, never had allergies in my life. Not in Boston, not in upstate New York. Never had an allergy, and well, besides the alcoholism, I guess.
Well,
so
sure.
Yeah, I think I'm allergic to booze. I know what I hate when people in meetings, like, and this is another thing that I wanted to put on the list last week, but it's because it's singleness of purpose and everything, I kept it off, but I'm going to talk about it now, fuck it. When people would say, like, oh yeah, I'm allergic to alcohol, I break out in handcuffs, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're an idiot, shut up. But anyhow.
Probably best you don't tell him that in a meeting.
I wait till after.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, you don't break out in handcuffs. You're an idiot. You get arrested. But anyhow, so the doctor was like, have you ever taken steroids? And at first I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm cheat. I don't need advantages. I gain advantages.
Yeah. My records are clean.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Do I have adult braces?
I can get into the Hall of Fame. And the guy's just like, my doctor's like, okay, well.
Sir.
Yeah. So first of all, the video, this is over video. I didn't go into the office because anything that's non-critical, they're doing video still, which is fine. I'd much rather stay home and
no, I get it, but it's not a thorough ENT examination on Zoom, right?
Right.
Not just like swallowing the camera.
Right. So the
Can
video,
you see?
the video conference starts, and he goes,
"Show me your dick."
"Oh, you're not wearing a mask," and I'm like, "What?" And he has a mask on, and I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Shut up.
I swear to God.
The guy's wearing a mask on your video conference?
Well, he's still at the doctor's office. He has to wear it. He's within the doctor's office with patients around. That's just their policy. It's every medical place you have to wear a mask.
All right.
But he brings it up to me, and I'm like, "No, I'm not wearing a mask." And he's like, "Why is that?" I'm like, "I'm going to give you 2 of the only reasons I should. It should only be 1, but A, I'm vaccinated, and B, I'm in my fucking room."
Yeah, dude.
He's like, "Well, what about your allergies?" I'm like, "What about them?"
Oh, that's why he was asking.
Yeah.
I thought he was being weird about it.
No, because he goes, "All right, well," he goes, "Well, where are your allergies?" I'm like, "You should lead with that, man."
Yeah, like, this is a weird political...
Right.
At first, you're thinking,
right.
Like...
And of course, that's what my mind
dude,
goes.
on camera, do you know germs can't get from where I am to where you are?
Yeah, but they can. You manifest it. So we get past the whole mask debacle. And he was like, "Yeah, have you ever taken steroids?" And I'm like, "I've never taken steroids in my life." Did my best Palmera, and he's like, "All right, well, I'm going to put you on steroids." And I'm like, "Okay." Yeah. I'm like, "Am I not bulky enough? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No.
It's not shedding season yet. That's not till spring."
Yeah, it's not beach weather yet.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Well," he's like, "this is a steroid that will help combat the allergies and work with the other meds I'm going to." All this medical jargon. I mean, it was actually pretty cool because he actually did speak in pretty much layman's terms, which I love. I hate when doctors throw all this shit at you and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
And then like the nurse comes in, you have to have her explain it to you and making their job harder.
Like they take out the resentment of 8 years of schooling on you.
And then, but like then it's like I love when a doctor's like, "Did you understand that?" And I'm like, "No." And then there's like, "Okay," and then they don't elaborate on it or like do anything.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what happened. So anyway.
Well, you do look stronger.
Yeah. And I was like, "What about the side effects?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Steroids have side effects now."
Like I'll get very angry, I'll punch holes in things.
And he's like, "Oh, mild side effects." So I'm not gonna want to like just go into a fit of rage. Like my balls aren't gonna disappear. I'm gonna get acne on my back. yeah, I'm gonna sound like Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, these steroids don't do that. I'm like, okay, good. He goes, they just fight your allergies. I'm like, all right, just asking.
Fair
Don't
question.
be a
Yeah,
dick.
yeah. I'm gonna inject this into my ass 2 times a day for 2 weeks. I'm just wondering what might go wrong if something goes wrong.
So his follow-up question to have you ever done steroids is, have you ever injected steroids? So I'm like,
So you said no to never taking steroids,
Correct.
then he wants to know if you've injected them.
right. So maybe, like, to his defense, okay, he said he never took steroids, but has he ever injected steroids? Maybe, I don't know. He was just being thorough, I guess.
Okay.
She's like, all right. He's like, well, it's very simple. He's like, what happens is the injectors, the syringes come pre-filled. You just take it. You take the alcohol and iodine. Clean your, he said bottom. He goes, clean your bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Right.
And he's like, you just stick it in, plunge it. I'm like, that's it. He's like, that's it. I'm like, is it gonna hurt? I'm like, by hurt, I mean, like, you know, when you get a tetanus shot, the next day your arm is dead. I'm like, I'm doing this twice a day. Am I going to get, like, dead ass? And he, I swear to God, he started laughing. He goes, you're not going to get dead ass. I'm like, all right. He goes, if there's any swelling at the injection point or any, like, pain or anything like that, he goes, call us. I'm like, have you ever tried to call where you're working? And he was like, no. I'm like, dude, it takes an hour. If something happens, I'm just calling the ER.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so much automated shit you have to go. There's no way you can, like, bypass it.
There's no 0 for operator.
It's at least 17 minutes before you actually get to the front desk.
What a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people go on WebMD, dude.
I prefer to wait. WebMD doesn't have a diploma up on the wall. You know?
Well, that's true.
So, but yeah, so I'm on steroids. I'm not going to get into the Hall of Fame now. You know?
There's a big asterisk.
Yeah, it's a big asterisk.
Next
Yep.
to your name.
Yep. So now, yeah, I'm not going to get in.
Well, congratulations.
Unfair advantage.
And now
you
you'll
know?
combat those Santa Ana wins just in time for them to go away until next year.
That was another sticking point. He was like, because I said in the, you know how you have the pre-thing where you say what the problem is?
Mm-hmm.
I said, like, allergies are out of control. Never had allergies before. They get really bad here around this time. So he said that the steroids take like a day or two to really, like, you know, do what they're supposed to do. But, you know, it's like, in my whole mind, I'm like, how was putting something up my ass or in my ass? You gotta stop steroids. Like, stop fucking standing in the wind. But he knows better than me. So, anyhow.
It tells your body you either fight these allergies or you're going to keep getting a
Or you're gonna die.
syringe in your ass.
Yeah.
It scares your body.
And so another thing about the doctor and the mask and everything. So we tried to, my girlfriend and I tried to go see 311 on Friday. And tried.
Okay.
So I hit her up like Friday morning. I'm like, hey, 311's playing in Irvine tonight. Do you want to go? And she's like, yeah, that'd be fun. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, make sure you bring your vaccine card, you know. And she's like, okay. So anyway, I'm like, and she's like, well, you gonna buy the tickets online? You want me to go? I'm like, no. We're gonna wait till we get there to buy them. Because I don't want to fucking buy them and then this is what I'm thinking in my head. Have her have an episode, an argument with fucking somebody about COVID, and us not get in, and me be out fucking $80. So anyway, so we're driving there, and we're kind of just shooting the shit, you know, normal conversation. And I'm like, you're not going to be a problem, are you? And she was like, no. And I'm like, she's going to be a fucking problem. She's going to be a big fucking problem.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't really know this about her.
Yeah. So anyway, we get there, and all these people are wearing masks and stuff. And I put a mask on. And she's like, why are you wearing that? I'm like, we're not going to get in. I just knew it. Right from that inception point, we're not going to get in.
Yeah. Because I've met her. She's a sweet angel.
She is a sweet angel,
Yeah.
but she's also fucking very, you know, she goes against the grain. She's very rebellious. You know, she has the attitude of like that she should have had when she was like 20.
But
But she's like
she
30.
Saved it for now.
Yeah. She saved it for COVID. So we're walking up, and there's the first initial checkpoint, health checkpoint, and then you can go buy your ticket if you want, and then you go in. If you have tickets, then just go to that initial health checkpoint. Then you go to the gate.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up there. You know, she's already walking with a purpose. You know, she's. I am woman, hand me ruler.
Yeah.
And we get to the health checkpoint, and you know, it's just like the line to get in. The rip tickets, like fucking 30 people.
Yeah.
And each person there has either like an RN or like a LVN or some kind of medical professional like there with the people.
WebMD on an iPad.
Right.
Yeah.
So first to her defense, my girlfriend's defense, the first woman was like, halt, and I'm like, halt.
Oh wow.
I'm like, that's
Avast.
a bit aggressive.
Yeew goes there.
Fucking Jesus Christ, troll. Where's your fucking sand and bridge? And she
Was she eating a turkey leg?
she may as well have been. But this is a big. I mean, I'm a big guy. This is a big bitch. And she kind of looked like if an Oompa Loompa was not like a midget, kind of like that. Like
Yeah.
a lollipop kid.
The old yeah.
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 And so we get there, and she's like, "Do you guys have your vaccine cards?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I pull up my phone, I pull it up, I show it to her. She goes, "No, we need a physical copy." I'm like, "This digital copy that's been stamped by the fucking California Department of Health Department doesn't count." And so she's like, "Oh, let me hold on a minute." And I'm like, "Oh my god." And she's like, "That's what the fucking guy gave him." That's what she says.
Oh, just straight to there.
Straight to it, 0 to 60. And the lady's like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "That's the most accurate copy you can have." And it's true.
She's right.
Like like my thumbprint's on there, my picture, my name, my date of birth, my vaccine dates, everything you need. And it has a bar that they can scan with their scanner.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, that happens, and then so she comes back and she's just already holding hers out. She's like, all right, we can accept your digital copy, and she looks at her. She goes, "Okay, great." She goes, "You guys need to wear masks." And my girlfriend's like, "I'm not wearing a fucking mask. I'm vaccinated. That's why I got vaccinated." And she said, "Well, we can't let you in without a mask." I'm like, "Then why are you checking to see if you're fucking vaccinated then?" And then the lady was just, "Look, we're just following protocol." She's like, "Your protocol's fucking stupid, one."
Yeah.
And she's like, this went off. She like laid into this poor woman.
So you're at the first checkpoint, not even to a place where you can buy tickets.
And that's where, as far as we made it.
Is that as far as you went?
As far as we made it.
Did she feel like her point was made though when you guys were driving home?
Yeah, she won in her head. So
Did you put on 311 as you were driving home?
no.
Oh, Emma is the color of your retina.
So we get turned away.
Fuck you! I got no mask on.
Because she doesn't want to wear the mask, so whatever, you know. Look, you're not wrong, but you handled that very poorly. You were very disrespectful, and you basically showed them this attitude of like rebellion, and they're just not dealing with that shit right now. They had no time for that right now.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, fuck her," and just, you know, went on this tangent, and
Now you're in a battle you didn't prepare for.
right. Because I defended the people taking the tickets,
Oh,
and
now
the
you're
health
the
check
doghouse.
people.
Yeah.
I'm also wrong. So
That doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't seem fair, but you know.
And they're not. She has some very valid points, but if that is the protocol and you chose to go there, you have to follow the protocol.
Right.
Like if they say we won't allow anyone in with red shoes,
Right.
and we reserve the right to refuse service. If you want to get a lawyer about
That's
it,
a little
later.
different though.
Well,
That's shoe discrimination.
yeah. Okay, green shoes. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, and you can't tell me unless my shoes can be used as like a deadly weapon. Like there's a spike on the end of them. Wingtips. Steel-toed boots that like you expect the gadget boots that turn into like a machine gun.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah. We're not gonna let you in. Why?
Come on.
But like, it's the same thing like with let's say like at your work, someone comes in to interview and they're like, "Oh, I see on your resume your last name was Goldberg. Are you Jewish?" "Yeah." "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know review." That's religious discrimination.
That's true.
Shoe discrimination. Why can't I wear red shoes?
Well, it's just our policy.
Yeah, well, my policy.
It might be gang affiliated.
My policy is your ass is gonna get sued, and I'm gonna win because
That's right.
nobody is gonna take your side in this nowadays.
So all of that happens after the fact, but meanwhile, you still don't go to the show.
So we don't get in the show.
So that's my point.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
red shoes, whatever the policy is.
We're driving home, and I'm like, so I assume you're just gonna drop me off. She's like, no, we're hanging out, and I'm like, great, awesome.
This will be a hoot.
So I was like, yeah, let's get something to eat. And she's like, okay. So we get something to eat. After we get done, we're in like the middle of our meal, and she's like, I fucked up at the concert, huh? And I'm like, kind of. I'm like, really like playing my cards carefully here, like what I'm gonna drop down or whatever. And she's like, look, I'm sorry. I know you really wanted to go. I'm like, you know what? And this is where I won. This was me fucking. Let this the roll of pig and the fucking invalid. So, Jesus Christ. So like I know that I have to like really be careful here.
Yeah, dude.
You know, and
you
I
find
know
yourself
that.
in a precarious position. You're just trying to order some wontons.
And so she's like, I know you really wanted to go, and I'm sorry that I just think it's stupid that you had to wear a mask. I'm like, look, honestly, the concert wasn't even that important. I just want to spend time with you. Check me.
That's a great
Nailed it.
response.
Yeah, and that was it. We never talked about it again. Till now. Yeah. Well, now sometimes I'll bring it up jokingly. She'll be like, hey, I have to go to this thing
For 10 more years.
She's like, I have to go to this thing for my niece. She's performing, and she because her little niece, she's like, I don't know, like 11. She does like theater stuff.
She'll be like 6 masks.
Yeah, she's like, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like wearing a mask. And she's like, So anyway, yeah, so that blew over.
Good for you.
But then I have a couple friends over here that are like big 311 fans, and like they're texting me. And they're like, dude, they played songs they haven't played in like 10 years. Like, they always do that shit when they come to California. I'm like, I know.
You're dead to me.
But the thing is, like, whatever. I mean, I've seen 311. This would have been like my 10th time seeing them. This is a band that, like, if you like their music and they tour near you, you go see them because their live shows are awesome.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal, though.
Yeah, I did go to one of their concerts. A friend of mine got us tickets when they were at the Orange County Fair years back.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this whole breakdown.
At the amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. You know, they had a few songs I liked and all that. So we went, and I remember they broke like one by one musicians left the stage, and it was just the drummer.
Oh yeah, when they do Applied Science.
Yeah, and then he crushed it, and then one
they
by
all
one
came out with the
they
bongos.
came back with bongos and drums, and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man, that's the Applied Science drum solo, and yeah, I mean, I've seen them a bunch. Like when I was living in Utah, they come through Salt Lake City every year.
And they're from Nebraska, right? Like
from Omaha.
From Omaha,
yeah, but they moved to California when they were like 17, 18, so like. But yeah, dude, no, they're fun. I haven't been a big fan of like the studio shit they put out the last couple of years. Like I think the last fun album that they did for me was probably Evolver. But I mean, no, they're great live. They're very approachable with their fans. They like get the crowd into it. You know, they put a lot of energy into making their fans happy, and like that's something I'll always respect about them.
For sure.
When some bands come out and they're just like they do the show and that's it, they leave.
They're like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You know who does that, actually, and I was really upset to find this out, is Tool. They were fucking kind of cocks.
Really?
Yeah. They were like telling the people, like one point Maynard basically, like, in his own way was like, why aren't you paying attention to us? Like, dude, because you just played a 15-minute fucking ambient solo.
Prog rock.
Yeah. It's like, dude, come on. It's like, see, okay, you look at bands that are like very progressive, bands that are very, you know, just songs are 18 minutes long. Maz Volta is the same way, dude. They are fucking unreal live. Unreal.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible musicians.
Yeah, fucking,
were they from
Omar Rodriguez Lopez.
At the drive-in first, and then...
Yeah, at the drive-in was first, and then Omar split off.
Yeah.
And he's done a bunch of side work with John Frusciante. He's done a bunch of work with, I think I said this on the music episode, with Joe Lally from Fugazi and Josh Klinghoffer, the old guitarist of the Chili Peppers, and then Frusciante went back to the Chili Peppers. But John Frusciante is another one, dude. That guy is unreal.
Always has been.
Always has been. He's like
What was he, like 17 or 19 when
he joined the Peppers? Yeah, and he
Yeah.
had a breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Heroin.
yeah, he did a bunch of heroin, and he was like the weird thing was he was like best friends with fucking Johnny Depp, and like they went to his house, him and imagine Flea and Johnny Depp showing up at your house,
I think Flea
being like you're out of control.
Flea is like immune to all the diseases that.
Dude, I can't believe that the Chili Peppers are okay. Like, he wrote a book, and he like really shit all over Anthony Kiedis.
Really?
Yeah, he just released the book. He didn't tell Anthony any of the shit was going to be in there.
Dang, dude. And
Yeah.
they've been friends since they were like 14.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But a lot of it was like when Anthony was using, I guess. Which is like, okay, I'm sure he was a bit like a pill to deal with.
Uphill.
I get that.
Yeah.
But like the bottom line is that like this dude's been your lifelong friend.
He's your wingman.
Don't
dude.
do that.
You guys up there wearing
Don't do that.
socks on your cocks.
Right.
And then you're gonna-
And I guess like John Frusciante wasn't going to rejoin the band because they asked him to come back. He's like, you guys need to figure this out. I'm not getting involved with this shit. So him and Chad,
Yeah.
the drummer, were like jamming together and shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we're not going to play. You can't play with our toys
Yeah.
until you guys figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And I guess everything's fine now, or whatever. Who knows? This is all speculative. This is what I've heard. Who knows how much of it's true? I didn't read Flea's book. I didn't read Anthony Kiedis' book. I'm not a big fan of like rock memoirs.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude. Like they're all the same. It's all the same.
Yeah.
I did this. If you're still alive to write the book,
Yeah.
clearly you figured it out.
I think a lot of times with musicians, I'm really just stoked. Like I'd be more. I would prefer to just hear their music and interpret it my own way, than realize that like a Michael Jackson song came on the other day, and my God, was he an amazing musician?
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
I can't hear his music anymore without, feeling bad.
Well, I don't feel bad. I just picture him like fucking a kid, and then I'm okay with it.
I'm not okay with that.
Well, I'm not okay with. I'm okay with being able to listen to it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
I know you don't. It's comedy.
I do love Prince though. Okay, we're gonna pause for 1 second so I can go let Limp Dick in.